Hello and welcome. I'm Matthew from Rosie and Rosie, investment property specialists, helping you invest in property with confidence. Just wanted to do a quick video for you, giving you my thoughts on the property market this year. It's the first week in March 2021, and we have been enjoying some very good price increases in South Australia. A very historically low stock is available, and yet there's still a lot of buyers who are interested in property, and that with the low interest rates on offer have made it a very good market for sellers at the moment. Not in all areas, but in a lot of areas, good properties are selling very quickly, very short number of days on the market, very high auction clearance rates, and good sale prices for those sellers. Now, as I said, the interest rates are partly responsible for that. The Reserve Bank on Tuesday announced no change to the cash rate, which means interest rates are still low. We expected that. Interest rates, you can get rates now under 2%. So if you're looking to borrow money, now is a good time to do so. If you haven't refinanced recently, now is a good time to do so. And I would strongly encourage you, if you haven't refinanced recently, to do that. Speak to a mortgage broker. Use this long weekend to consider that, and if you need an introduction to one of our trusted mortgage brokers, please don't hesitate to reach out. Similarly, if you're looking to borrow money to invest or to buy your next home, please don't hesitate to get in touch. We've got a lot of quality mortgage brokers who we're very happy to recommend. So yeah, interest rates are partly responsible for that. Low stock levels are also responsible for the high demand, supply and demand. Household wealth has increased in 2020 with people unable to travel and spend money. Basically, they have more disposable income, more in savings, more for deposits, and so they're offering more for homes. We're also hearing that South Australia had an extra 5,000 people added to its population from overseas over the last 12 months as a result of people returning to South Australia from overseas during COVID. And I've heard anecdotally that we've had an extra 60,000 people return to South Australia from Victoria and possibly from other states, but I've been unable to find the source of that information, so don't quote me on that. But an extra 1,000 people a week returning to South Australia would certainly have an impact on the demand for housing, whether it's rental housing or housing for sale. And while that is anecdotal and I'm unable to find the source, it would make sense based on my own observations and others in the industry who are seeing a lot more inquiries for properties for rent, a lot more inquiries for the homes that are on the market for sale, and the increase in prices and rents. We've had a number of landlords who've been able to enjoy a rent increase as the tenants have turned over, some in the region of $100 a week. So that's extraordinary. And while we do normally see an increase in interest from tenants in the new year, just like we see an increase in buyers in the new year after Christmas, where no one historically likes to be moving home, we do see all that come out of the work and there's a flurry of activity. So we do expect a seasonal increase in the first few months of the year, but it seems this year it's just gone to another level. And I would expect, like it does every year, it will cool off as the weather cools. Leaves fall off the trees and houses just become less attractive. It's less enjoyable to go and look at homes in winter, and generally people hold their homes off the market. We try and avoid renting properties in the cooler months when it's wet. But then as soon as spring comes and the flowers come out again, we see that spike, that spring selling season. So expect that it will cool and then it will take off again. And depending on a few things, which I'll touch on shortly, we might see it may not get as cool. And similarly, in spring, it may not have a dip before Christmas. It may go strong from spring right through to Christmas 2021. Now, the things that I think might have an impact on the property market in the near future are JobKeeper and JobSeeker, which are proposed to be wound back later this month. That may have an impact on the number of people who are buying homes and the amount of finance that they are able to secure. It may have an impact on sentiment and the wider economy. But the other big one that I think a lot of people are perhaps not talking about, because we don't want to talk about bad news, but the repayment freeze that people were able to take up when they had the opportunity. A lot of people did take that up. That repayment, like this is the mortgage repayment, what do they call it, holiday, that comes to an end soon too. So we'll have a lot of people who had been paying mortgages, who had a break, will start having to pay those mortgages again, and we'll see, I guess, depending on their incomes, whether they're still able to maintain those repayments. So we might see some more stock coming onto the market if people are really hurting. There's a few unknowns, uncertainties, but look, it's not unseasonal for us to have these peaks and troughs that happen every year. I think they've just been exaggerated early this year with some great conditions. And look, I might be wrong, this could continue. So certainly if you'd asked me this a year ago, I would not have predicted what we've just experienced. So it's an exciting market at the moment. Interest rates are still historically low, and they are expected to remain historically low for quite a while. Although the economy seems to be doing well, a lot of that is as a result of the government stimulus, and they may still put more stimulus out there on the table. Who knows? Politics is very interesting at the moment. So, and we're looking at an election to be held in the next year or so. So who knows what could come out of it. But yeah, anecdotally, we're seeing some really good results for both investors and homeowners who are selling. A lot of tenants are breaking the rent cycle and finally getting themselves into the property market, and it pleases me that we've been able to help some of our tenants do that as well. So yeah, I think 2021 is going to be a very interesting year, whether you're a homeowner or an investor or both, or someone who's aspiring to get into home ownership or investment property ownership. This is what we love to do. We love to help people who want to talk about property and want help. So if that's you and you're interested in catching up for a coffee or a beer, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to make a time to have a chat. As always, thank you for watching. Enjoy the long weekend, and I'll see you next month.